Thank you, Mick, she whispered in my ear. Like every day, after our English teaching session in the sand, Vanna, the little girl, was sitting on my lap. All the other kids already left to play, but Vanna, she always stayed. It was completely silent. We could only hear the waves of the ocean. A wind breeze was going through my curly blonde hair. And Vanna was sitting on my lap. She turned around, looked me directly into my face with her big brown eyes. And she said, "Thank you, Mick." And I looked her deep in the face and I said, "I will help." It was the last day of a 90-day stay on this little island in Cambodia. I had no idea that at this specific day, at this specific farewell, a seed was planted in my mind. My very first vision began to rise. But guys, let me take you back. It was in 2011 when I won this poker tournament. I won 8,000 euros. The next day, I booked a one-way ticket from Zurich to Bangkok, and I wanted to travel as long as the money takes me. And I traveled to different places, for example, to Cambodia. I was so inspired by the movie The Beach. So I did a lot of hitchhiking, and then I landed on this very small island in the south of Cambodia. No electricity, no fluent water, and I was there just with my hammock and my backpack, and I saw the kids playing soccer at the beach. And I wanted to join them. Back then I was able to play, and we played together for 2 hours, and then just with hand and feet they invited me to their home. And their home was like this bungalow. And 12 people living in this bungalow, and I arrived there with my backpack. And in this village, they have the tradition that the oldest man in the village offers the guest his bed. So I came there, back then 20 years old, and an 85-year-old man took my backpack and offered me his bed. I said, no, thanks, I sleep on the ground and everything fine. But he insisted. The beds were at the corner in the bungalow. In the middle was a fireplace. At this fireplace, the mother cooked some chicken, vegetable, and rice. And for all the kids, she just gave a little scoop. My plate, she made completely full. And I felt so uncomfortable. I didn't want to exploit them. And what is our Western thinking? I grabbed my pocket and had $20. And I wanted to give them. And they said, "No money, friend." And for me, I'm from Austria. In Austria, people don't do that. I was so shocked that I felt so uncomfortable. I had this urgent feeling of giving something back. And I was thinking, okay, what could I do? What could I do? And in this village there was no school. So I decided, all right, let's collect all the children, we go to the beach, and in the mornings we do some English teaching sessions. Okay, we did that. In the afternoon we played soccer and volleyball, but only until 4 p.m. Because at 4 p.m. all the kids and the women made a big campfire, and all the men went out fishing with the boats. We had some ropes with a little hook and some worms, and we made the boat full, came back, grilled the fish, danced around the fire, and drank some Khmer whiskey, and I had the time of my life. Then I came back to Austria, and I started to become a teacher, because teaching, that's my stuff, I thought. And I started to do some research. And I found out that in which world we are living. And we live in a world where you can buy a kit for $150 US, for instance in Haiti. We live in a world where girls with 8 years are forced to prostitution. We live in a world where 300 million children do not have access to school. And we live in a world where 10% of all children in this world are close to starve every single day. And I found that out, and I wanted to tell everybody. And I told my friends, I told my teachers, I told everybody I knew, and the response I received was a little different than I expected. What did they do? They laughed at me. I said, Michael, you are the party guy drinking beers. Why are you talking about saving the world? Are you crazy, Michael? That's not what we are doing in a 2,500 people village. Do you think you're something better? Michael, you are a dreamer. And I felt so insulted, and I really thought, hey, maybe I'm just not the guy for this. But this seed was in my mind. And the years passed by, and they kept calling me a dreamer. And they called us dreamers, even though we were the ones who stayed up at night and weekends looking for solutions while they went out partying. They called us dreamers because they don't understand that everything starts with a dream. Without a dream, you will never ever set goals. Without goals, you will never ever make a plan. Without a plan, you will never ever put in the work. And without the work, you will also never ever ask for feedback or counsel. These are none of the 5 steps in the circle of success. So they called us dreamers because they don't know that everything starts with a dream. And the years passed by. 10 years later, Zinzino came into my life. And I told you the story last year, my starting Zinzino, first network marketing company, was a complete disaster. You remember, after 6 months doing all the presentations, putting in the work, next to my job, next to trying to be a good boyfriend, next to do all that stuff, 6 months later, I thought I should be a diamond, I was a silver. And it hurt so much, I got the no's, I did the presentations, nobody attended, you all know the story, but I kept going, I did the stuff in the dark, but put me in the light 6 months later, because 6 months later, I was crowned, and again, 15 months later, I was an ambassador in Zinzino. And by climbing this ladder in Zinzino, you develop your personality, and you can create the person who actually can do something. And Sasha and I sat together and we brainstormed. So what can we do? How can we have a bigger impact? This dream, this seed was still in my mind, and then we found out, hey, Zinzino already supports 3 schools in India. They provide 1,100 children under the poverty line every day with hot meals. It's the only hot meal they receive. Zinzino is already doing amazing things in India. And then all the leaders are talking about one more. So we thought, all right, what about one more? What kind of impact could we have if we do just one more? One more school. And then it happened. We talked to Zinzino, Hilde, Orion, we talked to local aid, Daniel, and we just said, all right, that's a school building for 120 children, the only school in this area, so we put away this old thing and we're going to build a new one. And then we found out, hey, there's not only Sasha's dream, not only my dream, no, it's a dream of a lot of people in our team, or in Zinzino. And we launched that kind of idea at our team event. 2 months later, 177 people donated 28,500 euro, what is enough to build a school for 120 kids and provide them for 1 year with education, with accommodation, and with food. So last week I traveled to India. It was a rough journey, but I was there and I had the scissor in my right hand. I dreamed about this moment for years. To be honest, I never thought it could be a reality, but then it happened. I was staying there. Daniel said it took like at least 20 seconds before I did it, but then I did it. I cut the row and the school was officially opened. 10 kids ran towards me and hugged me and said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Tears in their eyes. And I looked these kids in the eyes and I could see only one thing. Gratefulness. Because we gave them a second chance. You can also hold it in your hands. Everything you can think about, you can turn into a reality. And by climbing this ladder in Zinzino, you can make all your dreams come true. So, but not only that, like I said, Zinzino already supports 3 schools in India, and I also visited that school. And the kids there, in this school I visited 400 kids, just said, thank you Zinzino, thank you Zinzino. It's the only hot meal they get every day. And guys, honestly, when I saw that, I just started to cry. Because we have such a power. If we stand together, if we show the world what the Zinzino family is made of. And we can make those dreams come true by climbing the ladder. And guys, what helps us to climb this ladder in Zinzino? What's the shortcut in our business? Attending events. That's why everybody of you is here right now. And here, my friends, Zinzino has our back. Because Zinzino has a special offer. If you make the decision to invest in yourself, to buy the annual event ticket for next year for an insane cheap price of only 300 euro, from this 300 euro, Zinzino takes 140 euro, and with this 140 euro, you support one child for 1 year. Combine both worlds by investing in yourself, by investing in your business. At the same time, you give a little child a second chance in his life. And everybody who wants to be part of that kind of impact can scan the QR code. If you do it until the next Wednesday, it's the 16th, it's for 300 euros. Until the end of the month, it's for 350 euros. You can share it with your team. The more people who say, hey, I helped this one child, just the one more, the bigger impact we have. And I hope a lot of you guys to see you here next year with the stories we can create in this year. But guys, to finish, it all starts with your dream. This little boy you see here, sitting in the sand, teaching English, he had a dream. He had no idea how he can turn this dream into a reality. But this seed was planted in his mind. And all of this didn't happen because the person you see here right now, Black Ambassador, all of this only happened because this little boy, this little insecure boy didn't give up. Because he kept collecting the notes. Because he kept fighting, although everybody was laughing. Because he kept going. I'm so proud of this little boy. And the same is for you. If you sit in the last row right now, not believing in yourself, I can understand you. But I also know the way out there. By climbing this ladder in Zinzino, you can create the person who can make all your dreams come true. Guys, the world deserves that you fulfill your potential. The world deserves that you leave your footprint. The world deserves you start dreaming again. Because if you're true to your dreams will come true. Thank you, Ryan. Without the help of Zinzino and without the help of one special man, now a friend of mine, you all know him, the CEO of Glocalate. So please, a warm Zinzino welcome to Daniel Matisse!